It's Mr. Hannah. I'm at school. I wanted to read to you a little bit about frogs and toads. I have this book called The Fun with Nature. It's a take-along guide. There's no author, but it's by Northward Press. And it also shows you different kinds of frogs and toads. So frogs and toads are alike in some ways. They're cold-blooded, which means their body temperature is the same as the air around them. So to stay cool, they burrow underground or underwater. To warm up, they bask in the sun. The animals have 4 legs and a head, but no teeth. They don't have ears like people and some other animals have. Instead, they hear with an organ called tympanum. Frogs and toads, they're also different. They shed their skins as they grow, and most do not have a tail. And it says a little bit about turtles, but we're going to do that another time. So frogs are amphibians. They can live on land and in the water. Some are even found in trees. They are often together in groups. Most frogs have sleek bodies with smooth skin. And rather than drinking through their mouths, frogs absorb water through their skin, which must be moist to keep them alive. Frogs do not have ribs. They make soft landings on their chests when they leap. And frogs can jump longer than the length of their bodies. So that's pretty interesting. So this is called a bullfrog, and these are wide and they grow up to 7 inches long, and this is the largest frog in the United States. And they are most common east of the Mississippi River, west through the Central Great Plains and Texas, and on the west coast. So we have should have bullfrogs in California too. Leopard frog. So leopard frogs are slender. They grow up to be 2 to 4 inches long, and they are found throughout the United States except on the west coast. So we don't have these. And then there's spring peeper. It's a small frog, and they eat at night. They like aphids, mosquitoes, and small worms. And then there's the chorus frog, and this is found from the Rocky Mountains across the Great Plains to the East Coast, south to Georgia, and west to Arizona. So we don't have those here. They like grassy edges of riverbanks, ponds, and shallow swamps. And this is the cricket frog, and they are mostly found east of the Mississippi River. And the frog's name comes from its insect-like chirp. So they sound like crickets. Okay, the next one is a green frog. This frog sometimes rests in shallow water, floating on its stomach with legs dangling down. They are found east of the Mississippi River as far south as Florida and west to Texas. And they live along the edges of streams, springs, ponds, and swamps. This is the wood frog, and they live in the north into Alaska. So, and they are also found in the eastern United States, west as far as Wisconsin, and into the southeastern mountains. And then it's the Pacific tree frog, and they grow up to be 1 to 2 inches long. And they live along the west coast from Washington to California, eastward into Montana, Idaho, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. There's the gray tree frog. They are chunky, and they live in every state east of the Mississippi River. And the gray tree frogs live in trees almost their whole lives. So this is the last one. It's a green tree frog. And they have a smooth skin and pointed heads. And they live along the Atlantic coast from New Jersey to Texas, and also in the south. This tree frog is nicknamed the rain frog because it often sings before a thunderstorm. That's pretty interesting. So then you can make a frog puzzle by printing a picture of a frog and then cutting it up, and then you can put it back together. So there's some ideas. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about frogs, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.